Today, I'm applying a Sarmiento FRC cast. FRC means Focus Rigidity Cast. This type of cast is used predominantly for mid-shaft fractures of the tibia. After the initial treatment of an above-the-knee cast, which depending on the position of the fracture and the preference of the orthopedic consultant surgeon, could be on from 2 to 6 weeks. The benefit of making this type of cast adjustable will ensure the stability at the fracture site is maintained by the constant compression of the soft tissues. The products required for this application include 2 pieces of Benecast Stockinet 7.5 cm, 1 roll of 10 cm Benecast synthetic undercast padding, 1 roll of Benecast Advanced 10 cm, and 1 roll of 7.5 cm. Depending on the size of the limb, a second roll of 7.5 cm Benecast Advanced may be required, or 2 rolls of 10 cm may be a good alternative. Adhesive padding, 3 pieces of Benecast hook and loop, and 2.5 cm white adhesive strapping. Position the patient sat on the plinth with the leg hanging over the side. The assistant will need to sit directly in front of the patient to support the limb and maintain the correct position throughout the application. Position the limb with the knee flexed to approximately 45 degrees and the ankle at 90 degrees. Only if this can be achieved without applying too much pressure on the fracture site of the tibia. This is not always achievable at this stage. Start the cast by applying 1 layer of Benecast Stockinet to the limb. I prefer to roll the stockinet into a donut to aid with the application. Apply the stockinet extending from the toes to just above the femoral condyles. And then for protection during removal, apply a double layer of Benecast undercast padding or adhesive felt longitudinally along the posterior aspect of the leg. Now apply a second layer of stockinet as you did with the first one, rolling it onto the limb gently. Ensure there are no wrinkles or ridges before moving on. This cast is following the total contact concept, therefore additional adhesive padding is required to protect bony prominences. So place a large oblong shape over the knee to encompass the femoral condyles, and then a long piece positioned down the tibial crest, followed by 2 circles of padding with the centre cut to provide negative padding over both malleoli. If they are quite prominent, then thicker padding is required, or double fleecy web is a good alternative because it has excellent conformability to the limb. Before opening the pouch of the casting material, apply examination gloves, as it is important when using a synthetic casting material to protect your skin from polyurethane resin. The material I'm using today is Benecast Advanced, which is a premium casting material with a unique 4-way stretch, so therefore ideal for this application technique. Using a roll of 10 cm Benecast Advanced, measure a 2-layer slab extending from the proximal aspect of the patella to the base of the toes on the anterior aspect of the leg. Now cut off the slab and immerse both the slab and the remainder of the roll into the water. Position the slab along the anterior border of the lower leg whilst the assistant is maintaining the correct position. Now, using the remainder of the roll, secure the slab by wrapping the bandage circumferentially around the leg, covering 50% of the previous turn, working from the proximal aspect of the limb to the base of the toes. Smooth the cast briefly and ensure there are no ridges or wrinkles as you are bandaging. Now, using the Benecast Advanced 7.5 cm, make a second 2-layer slab extending from the lateral aspect of the proximal mid-third of the tibia to the medial aspect at the same position. Now cut the slab and immerse both the slab and the roll into water. Position the slab like a U stirrup from the lateral to the medial aspect of the limb. The assistant will need to hold this in position. Using the remainder of the roll, secure by bandaging covering 50% of the previous turn. Ensure the slab is smooth with no ridges or wrinkles. Depending on the size of the limb, additional material may be required to provide adequate strength to the cast. Now, change places with your assistant and continue to maintain the position whilst moulding the cast until it has reached the initial set. It is important to pay particular attention to moulding into the patellar tendon, as this is the functional aspect of the cast. Using a pencil, mark the cast to identify the correct extent for trimming, and then continue to mark the cast down the posterior aspect of the leg for safe removal. Starting in the centre, then deviating to the lateral or medial aspect in line with the Achilles tendon, creating a J along the apex of the heel. Now, using the bandaged scissors, start to remove the cast. Position the blade on top of the undercast padding, ensuring the blade is parallel with the body at all times. When you feel the slightest of pressure on your scissors, I suggest you change to surgical wire cutters, making only one small cut at a time, following the previously drawn template. This will prevent causing discomfort to the patient. Now remove the cast from the patient's limb, easing it from the foot gently. Trim the cast to fit to the proximal tip of the patella and 2 fingers from the popliteal fossa behind the knee. The cast is now ready to be edged. Depending on the integrity of the skin, you can use elasticated tape or a fleecy edging tape, which will provide more protection with a softer edge. To secure the cast to the limb, I would suggest applying 3 pieces of adhesive hook evenly to the anterior aspect of the leg, and if required, 2 additional pieces on the lateral and medial aspect of the heel. To complete the fastening system, apply non-adhesive loop circumferentially around the cast. The completed cast is lightweight, breathable, and will aid with rehabilitation. To reapply the cast, tie a knot in the stockinet at the toes. Position both hands on the opening of the cast in line with the ankle and flex the cast to assist with reapplication. Now hold the cast at the ankle and ease gently over the foot. Pull the knot from the distal end to ensure the stockinet is not ruched inside the cast. When it is in position on the leg, secure the cast using the hook and loop. Ensure there is good compression of the soft tissues and fold over the stockinet at the proximal and distal edges. Before the patient stands, check the cast is not causing constriction and is functional and comfortable for the patient. The Benecare post-op shoe is the ideal solution to protect the cast during mobilization. Apply to the cast and secure using the hook and loop fastening system. Sign up to the Benecare Academy to download a PDF step-by-step application guideline of this tutorial and be the first to watch when we launch new videos. benecaremedical.com/academy. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube to see all our latest products, videos and competitions. If you require more information on our products and training, please visit our website benecaremedical.com.